Hey guys, this is IrieStarcraft and I'm back to cast another game for you. This one is going to be a 3 versus 3 and it will be on the Biolab. It's going to be a very special game because as you can see in the production tab, we have an all Protoss 3v3 matchup. So this should be pretty crazy and intense. And so let me introduce the players. It will be CriMsoN, the red Protoss, and VaGabOnD, the teal Protoss, and Akumu. He is the blue Protoss. Their opponents will be RionTireth. He is the purple Protoss. JizzInPants, he is the orange Protoss. And Shiver is the yellow Protoss. And looks like everybody is in sync here with their pylon timing. Everybody going to be doing some sort of wall-off build at the front of their, I would say ramp, but it's not. It is a choke, not a ramp. I like the Biolab. I don't like the ramps. Not every map doesn't have to have a ramp in front of your base. This gets a little bit old, doesn't it? Either way. Whoa, it looks like we did have a pause there. And I don't think anybody completely lagged out because we would have seen them drop. Either way, we have gateways all coming down for the bottom team. And I'm just waiting to see who is going to be going for that forge. And trying to be Cheesy McCheeserton at the beginning, Akumu and CriMsoN are waiting a very long time to throw down any sort of tech building. This is very interesting here. And meanwhile it is VaGabOnD that has the probe up front. So we are getting, what are we, okay, Akumu's got, excuse me, this is, okay. CriMsoN is going 2 pylon opener. 2 pylon opener, heavy eco, 3 pylon opening. Very interesting here. Very interesting. I do not know what that is all about. And at the same time, Akumu is just, okay, he is massing probes and now he's pulling all these probes off the line to attack these harassing probes now from the bottom team. And oh, almost getting RionTireth's probe. So some serious mineral line harassment going on. And Akumu is just, this is really weird. Okay, he is, look at his mineral count. What the hell? Is he just sitting there spam feeding his minerals? This is really weird. How is he sitting at 10101020 minerals? Am I tripping out? What is going on here? That's impossible. Okay, he appears to be somehow like auto-sending minerals down to CriMsoN, who is now building a forge and a gateway. God, this is so weird. This is so weird. What is going on with these guys? Meanwhile, VaGabOnD getting 4 gates and a robo facility. And God, okay, I'm just totally tripping out on this right now. As Akumu has now built a forge, cancelled it to get his probe out, and then rebuilt that forge. So, anyway, I'm just going to pretend that that's not happening up there. If any of you want to post or tell me how the hell that is happening or what, I mean, you would think that normally if you're spam sending, it would show up in like increments of 5 at the very least, but it's showing up as 1s. God, this is tripping me out. Anyway, what do we have on the bottom? We have a standard 4-gate from JizzInPants. I say standard 4-gate because he does have only 1 gas going. And RionTireth at the same time, also a standard 4-gate. Looks like his warp gate a little bit behind though. And probably because he spent so much time microing up here. And also a 4-gate out of Shiver. So triple 4-gates are on the way. And all we have to defend here from CriMsoN is 1 cannon. And he had all those minerals. And then I guess he decided, okay, they decided to feed VaGabOnD, who has now got 6 gateways, 7 gateways, 8 gateways, and a robotics facility, and is going to be warping in a ton of stalkers now. And is he getting a Twilight Council for Blink? I don't see that because I have seen this feed strategy with Protoss before, never in a 3v3. But VaGabOnD, it looks like, is going to be hogging all of the minerals. Look at how many minerals and gas he is sitting on. We are doing a full-on feed strategy with a 1 cannon wall on these 2 players. And meanwhile, VaGabOnD just massing up stalkers. Oh man, the bottom team. I feel like they waited too long for this attack, and it could be too late now. There's one immortal in here that is going to be doing a crap load of damage in this attack. VaGabOnD is going to be forced to fall back, though. He does not have enough to deal with this. He's going to need another round of warp-ins. What is he going to be warping in? More stalkers? He is still getting more and more gateways. Some blink could really do him well right now. But he's got this army pinned now in the choke. And if this mortal can sit in the front and just rip through the stalkers, that's exactly what he needs to do. He's going to keep this army at bay. It looks like they may change their mind where they're going to attack. JizzInPants is going to try and break into CriMsoN, but he's going to split his army up, and that is going to allow VaGabOnD to get a lot of shots off, and he is, however, going to be forced to fall back a little bit. Oh, and getting hit quite a bit there, unnecessarily scooting his army over. And oh man, this immortal is the only thing that is giving VaGabOnD any advantage in this battle. He is going to be forced to fall back again. He's going to definitely have to warp in some zealots, it looks like. Yes, he is going to warp in some zealots in the front here. And he is going to need more of everything, as this is basically a 1 versus 3 feed strategy. And there goes one gateway. The Cybercore, however, is going to remain alive, and a few zealots in the front to tank some hits while this army gets out. As VaGabOnD looks like may be forced to fall back yet again. He is trying to press his way out here, but he just does not have enough. The superior concave to the bottom team this whole time. And now he's still pressing out here, gonna be forced to fall back now. Needs more immortals to support this army. There are so many stalkers he's going against. And now it looks like CriMsoN is going to be getting double robotics facilities, probably to pump some immortals, and he's actually going for a robotics bay and another robotics facility. And they may, are they going to change and decide to make CriMsoN the guy receiving the feed here? This is just crazy right now. Crazy strategy. You guys know how I feel about feeder strategies, but this is not your typical feed strategy. As VaGabOnD forced to just go back and forth here, back and forth, doing all he can to hold this off. I think they could break in here if they wanted to, and now is the time for the bottom team to try and break through, but it looks like they're getting separated here, not sure exactly where they want to go, and now it looks like RionTireth is going to go ahead and take out Akumu. I don't know if there's much that VaGabOnD will be able to do about it, as JizzInPants, however, has got his army split up yet again. Oh no, JizzInPants is going to be running into CriMsoN's base, and there is 4 photon cannons and an immortal in here, and oh no, JizzInPants is going to lose all of these units. However, VaGabOnD's units are getting pretty far out of position. He is leaving his base wide open for RionTireth. Is going to be shooting and scooting his way into VaGabOnD's base. VaGabOnD is going to be in a lot of trouble now as Shiver is up there with him. But look on their production tab, you can see CriMsoN is building 3 Colossi and researching that extended thermal lance. That is going to be huge, but VaGabOnD now forced to evacuate the probes, and he did manage to get his army back in here and has a pretty nice surround, though this army is looking pretty formidable. Here comes CriMsoN with his 1 immortal. These extra immortals inside this army are going to make all the difference here, but they're not shooting right now. That is big trouble. CriMsoN going to be pulling his immortal back out. Looks like to group up with these Colossi. And Retro, bottom team, is now way behind in tech. As you can see it, Shiver is now starting to build some immortals, and JizzInPants is trying to grab an expansion. I don't know if that expansion is going to be allowed to remain up, as VaGabOnD has finally cleaned up this attack in the back of his base. Akumu now has lost his whole economy. And RionTireth with 5 zealots just chilling down here. Now they're going to be moving out. But they could end up getting caught here. Now going to be taking out the Foxy Pylons. And will they be trying to make a counterattack? Or are they going to try and beef up their economy? They are sitting in a pretty good position because the bottom team went triple 4 gate. They're pretty far behind in tech, but they're obviously ahead in 1 player. So this army here just going to go ahead and clean up all of these proxy pylons, and then we'll likely see the counterattack once a couple more of these Colossi come out. There are now 4 Colossi on the field. And so RionTireth leaving his units here at the watchtower to see when this attack is going to be coming. JizzInPants trying to grab that expansion. Meanwhile, Shiver has a robotics facility and one immortal out. And JizzInPants has not done much. He went for that expansion. Now he's getting his robo facility. RionTireth, meanwhile, 6 gateways and a robo and a Twilight Council. So a little ahead of himself there. I wonder if he was getting fed at all. I'm not so sure. But this is big trouble. It looks like the bottom team may be able to get a far superior surround on this army. However, these Colossi are going to be extremely powerful. This could be a very, very close battle, as CriMsoN is going to need to micro these Colossi back constantly and try and roast these Zealots. I feel like this army pulled back when it maybe shouldn't have. If all 3 of these armies had attacked simultaneously, this army could have been dead, but it is going to be able to fall back now. And CriMsoN is going to be getting an expansion up as well as VaGabOnD. God, this is so weird. Now Akumu's APM average is 1. This could be some sort of bug with the new version, as this replay obviously is not patch 1.4.2, which just came out like yesterday. So I don't know, maybe that, I wonder if that APM bug is the same as like his mineral count, as now it is still sitting at 1. God, that's so weird. I wonder if he has some sort of thing that auto sends mineral. I just don't understand that. If anybody knows what that's about, please tell me, because I'm tripping balls, man. But God, CriMsoN so far ahead in Colossi. This is going to prove so powerful. The bottom team, it's going to be, there's no way they can catch up in Colossi at this point. They've got to make a tech switch. Some Void Rays would be really, really, really good right now. But I just don't know if they have time at this point to try and get them out. Only 1 Colossus in here. Some Void Rays or a bunch of Immortals is exactly what they need to counter this army. But we will see if they opt to engage here. If they can keep this nice spread, they may have a chance against this ball of Colossi. But it's going to be tough with all 3 players here. As now the concave, not that great. A blink in from RionTireth. I'm not so sure. I don't like that blink very much. He is throwing away some stalkers there, as now the Colossi are going to be able to abuse this ledge here and pull back. And it looks like CriMsoN will be able to save the majority of his Colossi, and he did whittle that army down quite a bit. And a nice job again using that ledge. He does have only 7 Colossus now. It looks like he either only lost 1 or he's been reinforcing it. He might have lost more than 1, and he's just been continuing to pump. So it looks like VaGabOnD is now feeding CriMsoN for that mass Colossi. Shiver not very happy. Apparently lost an immortal in that engagement. That's too bad. As where did all these probes come from? I don't know where he ran those. Way the hell out of dodge. But now this Nexus has finished. So RionTireth and the bottom team with 3 expansions, while Shiver's just now going up, will be able to get ahead in this game. This is still really anybody's match, I think, at this point. I just love the Colossi count so high for CriMsoN. It is just huge. And oh my god, he will be able to harass the back. Oh, look how fast the probes are going to die. Oh man, so many probes just died in a couple of shots there from the Colossi. That is a good idea. I'm going to have to file that one away in the memory bank. Harassing these mineral lines, I'm telling you guys, oh, so annoying. Mineral patches that are right next to ledges are so annoying, man. Like, this one is so much safer than this one. It's just weird how that works. But now Colossi are going to come right up the middle. Will they be able to take out this Nexus? Unfortunately for the top team, Shiver has been massing up some Colossi of his own, and same with JizzInPants. This is going to be a very, very even fight right now. The spread way, way better for the bottom team, but look how many Colossi CriMsoN has. This is going to be very close. And all these Colossi are not shooting. Oh no, the Colossi were not all firing. These Colossi are really clumped up. If they keep pressing right now, they could get tons of splash damage. And it looks like Colossi, God, just back and forth. This is like War of the Worlds right here from both teams. Mass Colossi everywhere. And CriMsoN is actually even going to build an Akumu's old base here. That is interesting. A couple of stray zealots getting picked off. And now CriMsoN is going to be getting a Twilight Council. I assume that is just to get some upgrades, as he doesn't have... Does he have no upgrades on these Colossi right now? He does have one attack. So he still has this forge. So that is probably what he wants this Twilight Council for. Meanwhile, more Colossi being built by the bottom team. I feel like CriMsoN and the top team, VaGabOnD, they've got to make something happen now. If they just keep sitting back here and harassing, I don't know. I just don't know. They've done a nice job denying this mining here. Shiver just barely saving a bunch of these probes, and there goes the Dark Shrine from Shiver. And so we'll see if he'll be able to use those DTs for any harassment, any backdoor shenanigans, as there are no cannons or any detection in these expansions. Some juicy probes. Very vulnerable to some DT harass. VaGabOnD even going to be grabbing this base over here. CriMsoN is already mining the crap out of that base. Looks like he just transferred these probes. And now some more mineral line harassment. Here comes JizzInPants to try and push this back. He was able to take out the Nexus. That was CriMsoN. And another engagement where the bottom team seems to have a better spread. I'm not sure what these force fields are really going to do at this point. But oh man, this is so close right now. I love the spread on the bottom team. But at the same time, it looks like no upgrades on Shiver's Colossi, opposed to one attack upgrade from CriMsoN. It looks like CriMsoN is going to be able to push this back. I don't know if he needed to fall back right now. Look at how close so many of these Colossi were so close to dead. But CriMsoN is going to be able to save them and live to fight another day. Man, this is just one of the weirdest games ever. Weirdest game ever, man. More Colossi being chrono boosted, and a few more joining up this army is going to make it prove to be extremely formidable. The shields have regenerated on these Colossi quite a bit. Now going to be powering through here, and just denying this the expansions from the bottom team is really paying off now for CriMsoN. Top team with a much better late game harass, and there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This one Dark Templar, unfortunately, is not going to be enough for the bottom team to come back. And the trash talking goes down as the top team taking this very strange game. Pretty exciting though, I will say. It was very close. I think the bottom team really had this at a couple of spots. They really had this game, and they made some mistakes. Yeah. You see JizzInPants saying some sucky micro. There were a couple critical errors in this game by the bottom team. I think JizzInPants, when he sent his whole army into CriMsoN's base there at the beginning. You remember one of Irie's rules of team games is... One of Irie's team game rules is, unless you are 100% sure, do not send your army into the base, because you may get trapped by their teammates and lose your whole army and end up losing the game. And then later on, they had a chance, I think, here a couple times to really break this army. CriMsoN had his Colossi all clumped up in this little ball of like 9 of them, and the bottom team had their Colossi spread out very nicely. And they just didn't continue the press. Some nice micro from CriMsoN with the Colossi was able to keep most of them alive. And I want to maybe check some of the kills on these Colossi. We can see 11, 2, 13, 12, 8, 12. Lots of kills on these Colossi. So anyway, pretty exciting game. They're all Protoss. I know it's a little bit strange. And there's probably a lot of things that the bottom team could have done differently. But nonetheless, very close game and definitely exciting. So thank you, VaGabOnD, for sending me this game. It was a pleasure to cast. This is IrieStarcraft. That's going to do it for me, so peace out.